I know you gonna dig this.
Get funky with me.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? Welcome to Tampa, Florida. So, of course, I'm dressed appropriately for Tampa. Go Leafs. This is King High School. King High School. I'm not sure how long this high school has been around. Actually, I think I do know. But what's interesting about this school is, well, they have a huge stadium in the back. Looks like a lot of sports programs. People work here, very nice. Just inside there, over that way, talking to some people. Very helpful. What else is interesting about King's High School? Or King High School? Oh yeah, it was built on top of a cemetery. Yeah. In about 2019, I believe I'm in the Hillsborough district, Hillsborough County, and they were made known that, yeah, there's a cemetery underneath the school. So it's an African American cemetery, and about 145 coffins buried 3 to 5 feet deep underneath the school. It was a cemetery called Ridgewood Cemetery, and it's about 1 acre, and it was on the property of King High School. So I believe people were looking for this cemetery, and they discovered that indeed this is where it is. So a cemetery researcher, he told officials that there's possibly a cemetery here, and they got right on it. Within days, they hired technicians to map out and scan the area, and they found clear evidence of burials. What I have seen so far as I'm walking around, because there is a monument, like a plaque, and a monument. What I've discovered is I don't know if I'm able to get to where that is. I can see it, we're gonna see it, but I don't know how close I can get to it. Because the building, there was a building, like a lab, an agricultural lab, I believe, and maybe one other building in the back, on the southern part, right back that way. And that's where the graves are. Still there, from what I know. But there's huge fences all around. I mean, it's very, so here's my rental right there. I didn't drive to Florida this time. I flew in, literally just got off the plane. Now I'm here. I'm gonna see how close I can get to. Let me show you a bit more of the school. The school is big. You see that building back there? We were just there in the middle. With this big open courtyard, stadium in the back, like athletic field and all that. Well, it's got that real California southern. We're in Florida, mind you, but I say California because they got the open school. We don't see a lot of these in Toronto, where I grew up. To say the least, with the outdoor, everything's kind of outdoor. Just walk around. It's Florida. So what I read was back in 2019, they said that they were committed to respecting the individuals who are buried here, and are prepared to discuss proper ways to memorialize them, as well as taking care of the space if the school is given back the land. Ridgewood Cemetery, it was around, I think, 1942, and this high school opened up in 1960. Now, I said about 145 coffins, correct? But there's actually evidence that they know of at Ridgewood Cemetery, that there's about 250 people buried at Ridgewood Cemetery. And it's right back there. So we gotta go all the way back there and figure out a way how we're gonna get in. I've seen the memorial, I've seen the sign, you're gonna see it too, but I don't know how close, or it seems to be fenced off, which is odd. Yeah, so I think there's about a half dozen African American cemeteries in the Tampa area that have been rediscovered in recent years. And it was pretty much Ridgewood was for people without a lot of money, and they were buried between 1933 and 1954. All right, let's get in the rental. Let's see what we can see. As I've driven around this area back and forth, like I went all the way down that street, see where those cars are going by, trying to see if I could get in that way, and then I realized no, I was on the northern part, and I knew it was at the south, so I came back and I saw where I wanted to be. But the school's huge, and there seems to be a lot of activity going on in this neighborhood in terms of building up, and lots of new businesses going up, which is great to see. And let's see what we can see of Ridgewood Cemetery. So here we are at the back. So we didn't drive far. There's that stadium I was talking about. But here's the cemetery back here. And like I said, I don't know how I'm supposed to get in there. I don't know. There's the memorial. Sorry, the camera's jumping there for a second. It's all kind of Hillsborough District Schools. So I got the name right, Hillsborough. How do I get in there? It's open. Like the gates are open to the cemetery, but you can't get in to the cemetery at all. Come on. Now, you see, something like this really kind of aggravates me, because if you're going to go to all the trouble to restore, and it looks like some beautiful property, people should be able to come here to pay their respects, and if family members know that their family is here, or possibly think they don't know, maybe it'd be nice for them to be able to get in there somehow. But when I looked this up on Google Maps, Street View and all that, I was like, looks like it's really gated off. And I'm looking all around through here. Lord. There's no real way. Unless, wait. Let's see. So, I did think about that, about trying to go through there, because from what I know, it's public property, but unfortunately, I am not that thin to be able to get through there. And climbing the fence is out of the question. I'm not going to do that. What's going on here? Locked up. Well, they don't want people coming to pay their respects to the cemetery, which is back there. That's very disappointing. But they built, so the buildings that were back here are now gone. The agricultural part. And from what I know, there still could be a little bigger cemetery. That's where they discovered most of them. I don't know. But it's a huge property, so they built the high school on top. And I thought it was odd. Maybe you did too, and I said it, that only 3 to 5 feet. Now, that's not odd in terms of, a cemetery where they don't have a lot of money. They're not going to bury them as deep, maybe. They don't have the manpower at the time. They're not paying anybody to do it. And no headstones. I didn't find any of that strange. What I found was that they could actually put buildings on top of something, and then underneath, it's only 3 to 5 feet below. I found that to be odd. How do you not come across, hit something? How do you not come across something like that? Thought that was odd. Gosh, I wish there was someone working here. Like, there's people working over there, but they didn't know anything about it. They were working in the school on tiles and stuff, so I should add. It wasn't school officials, and this is a Saturday, so there's no nobody from the school here, but there's 2 cars, 2 trucks here, but yeah. The only other thing I could do is come by on a school day while I'm in Tampa, see if it's possible to get in, but I don't know. I think that's what I'll do, is I'll try to come back and see if it's possible. But you know, it's gonna be crazy with, you know, kids and teachers, and then me coming, hey, can I? Well, I guess I could try to come back. I don't know if I will be able to. This is the other side of Tampa where I'm not going to be. I'm actually filming north of here. Thank you to lovely Juliana, a viewer of my channel, who's sent me lots of little rocks and things. These are gonna fall, but they're here in remembrance of the people that are here. I wish I could read that sign to you. Oh, I think I could. I think I have a picture of it. I'll tell you what it says. So I was able to find some photos online. I'll read through it quickly what it says, but it is important. Ridgewood Cemetery. In 1933, the city of Tampa bought a 40-acre parcel at this location, later setting aside 5 acres for a pauper cemetery to bury indigent residents. In 1942, the city of Tampa named the cemetery Ridgewood. It was actively used between 1942 and 1954 as a burial ground for African American and indigent families in Tampa. The cemetery remained mostly undisturbed until the city sold the land to investors, who then sold it to the school board, as I talked about earlier. In 2019, Tampa resident Ray Reed shared records with the school district of a possible cemetery at that site. Historical records vary, but indicate that between 250 and 268 burials occurred at Ridgewood. As many as 77 of those burials were infants or small children. Scans done by ground-penetrating radar showed 145 burials still intact in the south area of the school's property. Every record discovered indicates all burials were done in the same area, taking up about 1 acre. Following an investigation, legal authority was turned back over to the school district. A memorial designed by Jared McCants, was completed in 2022. The monument, which you see here, is symbolic of a dove and the soul's release from its earthbound duty. And it's located within the burial grounds, as you can see, and it's positioned in an area not to disturb any burials underneath. Now, another thing I want to add is, of course, people will say that the school is haunted, and I did see a couple of videos online, and like amateur videos shot inside the school of like balloons moving in classrooms, things like that, and people say the school is haunted, and I think anytime a building is built above a cemetery or in proximity to one, there was, like I said, one agricultural building in the back here that was on top of the cemetery, and who knows how many other graves are in other areas, but it seems to be all in this area. But yes, you're always going to have people saying a place is haunted if a cemetery is nearby. And I've already thought about getting over onto that side, which you can't park way over there, excuse my finger, but I could probably walk into here, but the fence goes all the way around, and there looks to be no opening in the fence. It goes all the way around. So they're really taking care of the cemetery in terms of not letting anybody disturb it, but they're not really allowing people to come pay their respects either. It's too bad. One other thing I'll add while I'm standing out here in the blazing heat, angry that I can't get in. Not angry at the school, of course. I mean, it is a sad, maybe it's just locked up, but I don't know when these gates will be open. But they've done a great job with the columns and the trees. Maybe the trees are here already, but it's very beautiful. Let's see if you can see, but you know, and it looks like they really have taken it seriously. The fact that that is the cemetery, and there are people. So from what I know, they did not move anyone. They've left the coffins, the caskets below, and they just don't know. You know, hopefully they're going to figure out exactly, maybe most of them. Let's hope. Yeah. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Rest in peace to everyone at Ridgewood Cemetery. It's right behind me there. And yeah, they built a high school over a cemetery. I think I did one a few years ago, built a park over a cemetery. It happens more often. I've got a lot of stories pinned and in my notes, places all over where strange things like this, and I'll be doing more of that. And yeah, they did one about the park in California a few years ago. It's crazy. Yes, rest in peace to everyone buried behind me. And go Lions. It's a good thing what the school did, taking away those buildings and then putting up a very, very secure gate. And I shouldn't be complaining because it's secure. So the people there are resting peacefully. Thanks for watching, everybody. Love you all. Peace. Oh, go Leafs. No Tampa Bay Lightning. No. Peace out.